This video will contain spoilers. Thank you, my habibi. I am well aware that my last video was 6 months ago, and I'm very sorry. Just kidding, I don't care, suck my dick. By the way, this was recorded before the official trailer on the 17th, so if something gets revealed then, keep in mind the context. The Ancient Gods Part 2 is upon us. Supposedly, according to leaks, it should be out on the 18th of March, which is 3 days away as of recording. And I'm hyped. Last time I was this hyped, we all believed Cyberpunk wouldn't have as many bugs as the fucking Amazon. Why am I hyped? More Doom. A big battle against a period red Gundam. New enemies. A massive fucking hammer, so I can fulfill my dreams of smashing a Mancubus. I mean, look at those fat fucking pancakes, like, oh my god. So here are my hopes and dreams for the DLC. What I would like to see, my concerns. I'm not saying anything in specific, I'm just going off the top of the dome, or what little dome I have. Let's talk about the Dark Lord and his boss fight. I still can't get over how he looks like a fucking child wearing his dad's oversized sweater in that suit. But I digress. I want this fight to be long, dynamic, fun, challenging, and most importantly, satisfying. Listen, this is the big bad. This is it. This is technically the final boss in the Doom lore. So it's gotta feel like it. Imagine, as you fight him, his armor slowly gets more and more destroyed. His suit starts sparking and his movements become slower and more impeded. Like an old man with fucking arthritis. Until he inevitably falls before you, and Doom Guy fucking rips his head off and then, I don't know, pisses in his mouth or something to establish dominance. Point is, it's gotta feel dynamic. I don't know if you played Cyberpunk, and spoilers for the next 10 seconds or so, but if you remember the Atom Smasher boss fight.
Is this a pain? Forgotten the sensation.
That's kind of what I mean by slowly getting more and more destroyed and weaker as the fight continues. It'll give you a real sense of just punch and like this is the climax, you know what I mean? You really want to feel like you're bringing the fight to him, so I feel like that'd be a cool feature. I want it to be engaging, I want it to have a lot of moves, but I also want those moves to be learnable. A boss fight is most fun, in my opinion, when it feels risky enough to pose a threat, but, you know, choreographed enough to feel like you can learn the boss, and you are learning the boss, and you're getting better. Oh my god, that monster energy is like crack. Most importantly, I want the boss to stand on his own. A problem I have with boss fights, such as Hayden, the icon of Simp, is that they're really only a threat because of the surrounding enemies. They themselves aren't a threat. I mean, come on. The Dark Lord has to feel like the most threatening of them all. Uncle Hugo did say that the boss was easily the best boss they'd ever created in a live stream, I believe. So if that's the case, then whoop, it's gonna be sick. Let's talk game mechanics. The Sentinel Hammer. We can see it in the teaser that he has some kind of like aerial ground pound with the hammer. I don't know how the hammer will work in all honesty, but an aerial smash attack does seem pretty cool. Just think of the combos. You're flying through the air via meat hook, raining hell from above, and then you slam it down like you're Queen Elizabeth and the demons are Meghan Markle. You just fucking destroy them. I don't know if it's going to be able to be handheld like the Crucible. I don't know how that would work, but if we can use it in combos, I'll be chuffed to bits, I'll tell you that much. I always said Eternal needs more super heavies, and it seems like that's what we're getting in the form of the Armored Baron. I'll admit, I am a little concerned that a lot of the new enemy types seem to look like reskins of old demons. You know, the Armored Baron, the Screamer Zombie, the Stone Imp, like what's his ability? That he's rock hard in more ways than one? I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't mind it, I just hope it's not indicative of, you know, it rushing the DLC a little. I know they want to meet that 1 year deadline, but I also don't want the final product to feel rushed. And I don't want id employees to be crunched like a fucking Kit Kat. Anyway, it seems like the Armored Baron will have one of those timed opening sort of mechanics, because you can see it, you know, flash in the teaser. It would be cool if when you shoot the little fucking testicle in his hand, that it did like a little AoE blast or something, because it kind of looks like a bomb, you know, something that falters nearby enemies. That could lead to some cool tactics and, you know, cool enemy groupings, you know? It could lead to some tactical gameplay. I want the DLC to be fun, and I want the DLC to be hard. The Ancient Gods Part 1 was hard. I want the Ancient Gods Part 2 to be harder than me when I wake up at 7 AM in the morning. There is a limit though, obviously. You don't want, you know, the DLC to be hard for the sake of being hard. That's not fun, and frankly, it's not fulfilling. You want the challenge to feel fair, something that you can overcome, something that gives you a sense of accomplishment upon completion. That's what I'm hoping for. Hugo has been saying on, you know, the live streams that this DLC is going to kick your ass. You know, it is going to spread your cheeks wide open and just take a big fat in your asshole. So you want to be prepared for that. Listen, I've played Doom a lot. I've played a lot of Nightmare. I like to think that at least the base game, I've almost mastered Nightmare. I've yet to complete the Ancient Gods and Ultra Nightmare, but I want this DLC to be something that has a lot of replayability. I want it to reinvigorate that feeling of learning mechanics and getting better at the game again, because that's ultimately what attracted me to the game in the first place. So yeah, I have no doubt that this DLC will be fucking brutal, but you know what? We like brutal around here, especially in bed. Let's talk music, because I'm quite heavily invested in music myself. I saw someone on Twitter. He was concerned that in the teaser they used the Ancient Gods like intro song that they used from the Ancient Gods Part 1, and they were concerned that they're going to reuse a lot of the music in the Ancient Gods Part 2. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the reason that song was in the teaser was just because that's like the Ancient Gods theme song. You know, just like you have At Doom's Gate as sort of like the intro theme song for, like, you know, Doom. I feel like that's kind of like the Ancient Gods soundtrack. So I feel like they put it in the teaser to stick to theme and stick to tradition. I definitely enjoyed the work that Levi and Hulshult did in the Ancient Gods Part 1. I love the Trial of Melagog. I love Blood Swamps. All the songs are bangers, in all honesty. I can only assume that now they're even more comfortable. They've sort of found their place, their Doom identity, so to speak. And they're, you know, I hope they're more willing to innovate and give us more. That's the one thing I will say. I feel like there wasn't enough bangers in the Ancient God Part 1. Like, there was 3 songs, 1 for each level, which is, I suppose you could say that's more than enough content. But, you know, just 1 or 2 more, like, you know, full-on fucking headbangers, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Because, you know, the Ancient Gods Part 1, you had the Blood Swamps, you had UAC Atlantica. The Halt was more of an ambient track, and you had the Trial of Malagog, which was pretty fucking sick, but, you know, 3 bangers? I want more. I want more. At least 4 or 5 bangers for the Ancient God Part 2. I mean, come on. The lack of sort of comprehensive soundtrack for the, you know, Part 1 left me feeling like a meth head with withdrawal. So I hope we get more in Part 2. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. You know, a wild guess based on the teaser and the teaser artwork and everything. It seems like this whole big battle with the Atlan and the Titan seems like it's going to be the big final battle. I predict personally that there's going to be a big final fuck off battle where we fight the Dark Lord at the end of the last level of the DLC. If this is the case, I want this to be the most fucking comic book over the top, just dramatic action, just, you know, ever. I'm curious, like, are we gonna fight alongside the Sentinels and the Minions and, you know, the Betrayer? Like, are they going to be, like, right next to us and we're going to be able to fucking kick ass with them? I mean, I think that they're just going to be sort of, like, in the background, like, in a part of the map that we're not exactly going to be able to reach, if that makes sense. But, I mean, that's still okay. I just hope that they feel involved with the big battle, you know, with us. I want this to feel like a war. I want it to feel like a war, not a, you know, one versus all situation. A one versus all is badass. That's kind of what Doom is known for, but they're clearly going for a big fucking, you know, endgame-esque dramatic blow-off battle here. So yeah, I want to feel like I'm commanding a fucking army. You know, I want to feel like a Twitch thought with my army of rabid simps that will fight by my side and in my honor and on my behalf. Wasn't there like a few people saying that they hope they are gonna pilot the mech? I'm gonna be honest, fam, I don't think that's gonna happen. I feel like if there was a set where you could pilot the mech, it would have been shown or like teased a little bit or even hinted at. It's just such a fucking gargantuan machine. I don't see how they would make that work on a technological level. You know, as badass as it would be to fight the fucking Titan in a massive Atlan mech, it's just I don't see it happening. But I'm totally fine and content with seeing the Titan and the Atlan duke it out in the background. I want to see them fight. You know, we've seen these Titans and these massive fucking, you know, badass demons, but we never see them in action. I want to see them throw hands. I want to see them bare knuckle fist fight like those fucking, like, you know, this is a bit of a sidetrack, but I don't know if you're familiar with Irish Traveller culture. I encourage you to go look up Irish Traveller bare knuckle fighting. It's like an entire fucking underground sport.
Finally awake.
Of these Midland Irish people just duking it out, you know, without hand gear. But I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Point is, I want it to be visceral, and I just want to see the battle ensue. Imagine like we're fighting the Dark Lord, and in the background there's all these, just a huge spectacle going in the background. Listen, I'm a sucker for cinematic pieces and, you know, set pieces and just larger than life, you know, encounters and battles. So to experience such a thing in a shooter as profound and, you know, that I love as much as Doom, that'll just make my day. I hope it's decently long. We got 3 levels in the Ancient Gods 1, and they were long levels. So, I mean, if the levels are as long as, if not longer than the Ancient Gods Part 1, I'll be happy. I'm expecting that, like, the first level we're gonna spend, like, assembling an army. And that's another thing I wanted to say. I hope we actually get to see how the Doom guy actually assembled a fucking army. Like, how the hell did he do that? I don't keep up to date with the lore that much, but I know that, you know, something had to have happened to have get everyone riled up and fight for his cause. So I think the first mission is going to be showing that side of the story and saying how all that happens. The second part, I reckon, is going to be us sort of getting to the Dark Lord's, I guess you could say, part of hell. I know it has a name. I don't know what it's called. I forgot it. Like, the whole, like, the place behind the wall in the teaser, you know, the big technological place. I'm assuming the second level is going to be us getting there. And the third level, I'm assuming, is going to be just that big fuck-off battle that I said before, that I hope blows us all away. And I guess my final point, because I didn't write a script going into this, which is, you know, not par for the course for me. So if this video fell all over the place, which it probably did, it's because I don't have a script. But the last part I'd like to see is replayability factors, you know, things such as Slayer gates, you know, little challenges, exploration items. I want there to be a lot of, you know, just fun, cheesy little Easter eggs and stuff like that. I enjoyed the Slayer gates in the Ancient Gods. They were a little easy at first, but then they updated them and made them, you know, as hard as they were. But I feel like those kind of things add a lot of replayability to I'm having a fucking stroke. To the DLC, and, you know, and it'd be cool to have some new environments to have a Slayer gate in, a new like sort of playground to fuck around with the new Sentinel hammer and, you know, the new demons. It'll be so cool. Side note, if there's no part in the DLC where we don't ride a dragon, I'm getting my money back. I'm getting a big fat fucking refund, because, I mean, come on, it's just asking for it. Even if it's just a cutscene, I'm fine with that. You know, maybe that's how we get over that big fucking wall in the teaser. We fly a dragon over it. Anything. I don't know. It'd be such a drastic departure from what, you know, the old Dooms, you know, to fast forward now when we're flying fucking dragons. But you know what? I'm all for it. You know, on the topic of cutscenes, I know they're a lot of work for the team to animate, but, you know, I want more. I hope we get to see another interaction between the Slayer and the Betrayer. You know, the Sentinels. I want to see at least one confrontation. I want to see a confrontation between the Dark Lord and the Slayer. It's just, I want them to double down on the cinematography, because one thing I've always been an advocate before is that if you're gonna do something, do it 100%. They're clearly going for like the endgame cinematic, dramatic, larger than life set piece kind of feel for the Ancient Gods Part 2. So you know what? If you're gonna do that, fucking own it. You know, go for it. Wear it with pride and flap your dick out in the wind like you're proud of it. I want them to have the cutscenes. I want them to have all the elements and, you know, things like that. In terms of arena and map design, because those are very important in Doom's design philosophy, I want this DLC to have a lot of big open, massive, arenas with tons of opportunities for mobility and creativity, and I want it to feel very airy. And then they can fit a shit ton of demons and big old super heavy demons in those areas. You know, I feel like that would serve the Sentinel Hammer as gameplay mechanics as well, because if the map is open and you're flying through the air and slamming your hammer down, you want to have a lot of space to sort of choreograph and think about, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm blabbering out my ass. Point is, I want massive fucking battlefields, and that's pretty much it. Am I asking for too much? Yes. I'm aware that I'm asking for things I'd like to see, like a fucking kid meeting a mall center and asking for a Ferrari F40 or some shit, but I don't know. I feel like it's just good to talk about, talk about things, get excited for them. A lot of it's kind of stuff I'm expecting, but a lot of it is stuff and, speculation that I'd like to see. Again, according to the description for this DLC, this is it. This is the big blow-off for the Doom lore and Doom in general. I don't think it's the end of Doom, like as a fucking franchise, but I do think that it's the epic conclusion to the Doomiverse as we know it now. So I'm expecting it to kick ass. I do have concerns that it'll be rushed, but if I know anything about id and the people who work there, is that they take pride and passion in what they do, and they want to make this as good as they can as well. So I'm excited. Hope you're excited as well. And that is pretty much it. See ya. After editing and looking over the footage, I realized that I ramble and stutter like a retarded fucking parrot in this. So I'm sorry. The video was unscripted, and I'm just trying out new methods and ways of recording. So bear with me. I'm still figuring the style out, but yeah.